Good morning, this is Mark Harrison with Sewer Line Check Professionals. I'm here at 1245 Hill Drive in the Eagle Rock area, and I'm preparing to perform a video examination of the main sewer line system. Now, the main sewer line system is the portion of the waste drainage piping that is exterior to the structure. It lies underground and connects the building drain line system to the public sewer. The building drain line system then is the portion or portions of the waste drainage piping that is underneath or interior to the structure. Our examination today is not focused on the building drain line system, so if further evaluation is desired regarding the building drain line system, a licensed plumbing contractor should be contacted, or a specialty building drain line video examination can be set up through our office. So I am going to be performing my examination today from a couple of non-standard cleanout accesses I found here on the front patio area. There's a 4-inch cleanout here, and then a 3-inch cleanout just next to it, and this is kind of near the top of the stairs that come up from the driveway area, just down and to the right. Now, the reason I say non-standard is, one, their location is quite a bit further from the structure than we would expect. Typically, where your line exits, which in this case is back here underneath the stairs outside that lower bathroom, your main sewer line cleanout is going to be within 2 feet of the drain pipe exiting. And then, again, with this line, this cleanout here, this line actually exits kind of up around the right side, just behind the sub-area access that you can see. There's another cleanout access there which would be suitable, so not necessarily recommend changing this at this time, but I'm going to get a little bit further into that as I go. So first I'm going to drop into this 3-inch cleanout here that's going to, it's actually installed backwards, so it's going to push us back up towards the building. So that again is just kind of another non-standard, unusual setup. And immediately we drop in, we're looking at original vitrified clay piping, which has common root intrusions, things of that nature. This is one of the problems with these Alright, so one of the problems with going backwards in the system with the camera is obviously the water pushes up against the lens. It's difficult to see, but we're seeing root intrusions at the joint areas of this clay pipe, which is fairly common. And here we're making our turn to run up along the side of the building. It's hard to see with the hot water running. It does tend to fog up the line, so I have seen this already. I didn't find anything broken or damaged. Right here, we're then connecting into the cast iron pipe that exits the side of the structure and then runs down to connect to this clay. And that's where it comes out here. Older cast iron, pretty deteriorated. Alright, so we'll pull back here, then I'm going to drop into the 4-inch cleanout, push back to the house first. So basically this line, I would suggest just maintenance on it from your cleanout that's just under the sub-area access. Regular cleanings out to this point. And we get into our other line here. You know, again, we drop in here, we've got a non-standard cleanout fitting, which fortunately for us today, I'll be able to turn the camera backwards in the line, but you wouldn't be able to run a snake back this way. And we push through about 7 or 8 feet of original clay here as we go back towards the building. And there's another section of plastic just before we go back up under the structure. So it's a little curious why they didn't go ahead and put the cleanout closer to the building in this little section of plastic. And again, here's our cast iron as we go in. And so we're going to turn straight up here where we'd go up into the bottom of the toilet. Alright, so I'm going to pull back one more time here, and we'll push out towards the public sewer for our last push here. It's going to give us the overall picture here of what's going on. So we come out through a short section of modern plastic, drop down, connect up to some original clay here. Which generally looks okay. But then we tie into another short section of plastic where somebody repaired a pipe. Right up here, you'll see there's a fitting used. This is actually what's supposed to be an increaser fitting when you're coming from a 3-inch pipe flowing down into a 4-inch pipe. And they've put it in backwards so that they could reduce the inner diameter of this pipe and shove it inside the next section of clay. Now that's not a proper connection. You can see the mud and roots coming in over there on the left side of the pipe, but more importantly, any reduction of a pipe is not allowed. So this is located here just to the right of the steps as you're coming up, near the base of the large white planter, about 3 feet deep there. And then we drop down steeply here to kind of get underneath our steps. And as we get to the bottom of this drop, hard to get a good shot of it, but you see here we've got a broken pipe fitting right as we level off to start running out under the driveway. I don't know the depth of this area yet. We'll have to see if we can get a location on that. Alright, now we're pushing out through the 4-inch clay that's going to run under the driveway and make a turn and drop down. And this is pretty common stuff, common root intrusions at the joints. Root intrusions at the joint areas of these clay pipes, basically they are something that is pretty normal. And normally we're suggesting that they can be maintained with regular sewer line cleanings. But when they're left unmaintained for extended periods, they can create blockages in the system or potentially damage a pipe. And here we're making that turn. And now we're going to drop down steeply, looks like almost vertically. As we're dropping down, we're encountering more root intrusions here. This is, again, from what I can see, it's pretty common. And then we're going to level off, and at this point we're increasing from 4 inches in diameter. At the bottom of this drop now we're up to a 6-inch pipe. And we got a bit of an offset here that's causing some poor drainage. Maybe some settlement there. Now we're basically right at the sidewalk here, at the end of the driveway apron. And we're basically just looking at a similar situation here. Original clay, pretty significant root intrusions, and no real way to effectively clean this larger diameter pipe, especially with that reduction of the 4-inch pipe where they put that new plastic piece in. Turn. Some debris caught up in this area. Can't quite tell what that is. Didn't wash out when we were running normal water. Might be kind of a large root chunk. What I'm concerned about is it could be a chunk of the clay pipe, but you can see here the camera kind of gets forced around it. I'm not able to really get a clear shot of it, but I didn't see anything cracked or broken here along this side, along the top, so something that might get knocked out during a cleaning. And 60 feet here's our public sewer. Alright, so really the overall picture here is a system that's generally draining and functional, but this had some really unusual and substandard repairs, clean-out accesses put in, things of that nature. So I'm going to recommend a couple of repairs here. I'm going to suggest putting the clean-out, at least for the primary line here, at a more standard location, simply because it'll be easier to maintain and monitor. We've got the improper connection of that reducing fitting from the plastic to clay repair here underneath, just to the left, right of the walkway. And then we've got that broken section of pipe down at the bottom. So we're probably really looking at least a partial replacement here to get the system to a more standard type of setup. And then regular maintenance and monitoring of the older original sections, which are basically functional. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the video portion of the examination for today. I will be issuing a written report which will describe the final findings and recommendations for today's examination, including maintenance recommendations. Now, we do recommend that all main sewer lines are examined after any significant seismic activity, and that main sewer lines be examined annually to monitor for changing conditions in the system. This is Mark Harrison with Sewer Line Check Professionals. Thank you very much, and have a pleasant day.